I'm SJ.
I'm AJ,
and
we the Connected Experience.
Hey, bro, what's the Connected Experience?
The Connected Experience, man, is the lifestyle, a lifestyle,
Our
our
lifestyle.
lifestyle is where we bring people together who we think dope, who you should know, or we connect two people who we think
We're
dope.
going to stop saying that. We don't connect
we
two
don't
people.
connect
You
two
know what I'm
people.
saying? It's
That's
just
what we used to want to do.
Yeah, that's what we used to want to do.
Yeah.
So some of the older episodes, you might get two people, and then
Shit, 4
sometimes
people.
two people might slide through, man. So how you been?
I can't complain. What about yourself?
I've been tight, man. Your hair really growing, man. You
Yeah.
looking real West Coastish,
Yeah.
dog. And you
Yeah.
get your beard growing good, man.
Yeah.
You living good. Ain't no hating shit. I can
Yeah.
tell. Like when you looking good, you living good. No
Yeah.
hating. You know what I'm saying?
Not as if I was hating before. It's
No,
that,
you still with the
you gotta
because niggas be hating, and on this podcast shit, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell a nigga like this, bro. You should want to come fuck with us instead of hate on us, because we could take your business to the next level. Because some niggas don't be on top of their business, and if you want to go to war with a nigga, you fuck with him on a business level.
Yeah.
We ain't gotta catch you slipping in the streets.
Yeah.
You ain't in no streets.
Yeah, I'm not.
You know
I'm
what
going
I'm
home
saying?
after this vacuum. You feel
You
what
know
I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying? Cut the grass though.
Yeah, nah, somebody cut my shit. Nigga, I do it both ways. If I don't feel like cutting that shit, I call Unc, come cut my shit, line my shit up, clean from behind the garage, all that good shit, nigga.
Yeah.
Options, nigga. So shit, what you got?
What you got?
Man, I got a word, man. It's consistent, man. It's constantly adhering to the same principles, course, or form, holding firmly together, cohering. What you got?
I got my word is heritage, and that's property that is or may be inherited, and inheritance, value, objects, or qualities such as cultural traditions that's passed down. So why is consistent your word, and why is heritage my word?
Man, because we got a return guest, man. We got our guy in the building, Ty Mopkins, and he's been consistent when keeping the fashion and Detroit heritage intact. So, man, Ty, go ahead, introduce
It's
yourself.
not really just Detroit though, bro. 'Cause
It's the world,
Yeah,
correct?
it's the world. Yeah. Don't shortchange my dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the world, man. I be seeing niggas, man, you know,
All over.
all over the
All
fucking
over,
globe and
you know
shit,
what I'm
you know, international. So what's up, man? What you been up to? Introduce yourself, folks.
What up, though? Ty Mopkins, how y'all feeling?
Yeah,
You know, we good.
You a
So-
return guest, man. I think you might be the first return guest.
Oh, man.
He's definitely not the first return guest. Dean, I've been on the show 80
Well,
times.
no, Dean wasn't.
Oh, but he wasn't an original guest.
original
Okay.
guest. nigga.
Well, I'm trying to three-peat, so after this, I'm a three-peat, and I'm going to come back.
Yeah,
Then we're
that's
going to
that
go for
pistol
4
shit,
and 5 and
yeah.
all that stuff. No, but the way y'all open up the show, like how you say y'all got to change up, that's funny how we was talking earlier about how you got to call Shane Park the Aretha. See how it
Yeah.
flows off the
Yeah.
tongue, how you
Yeah.
got to change it up? So, man, just glad to be here, man. You know, you my brothers, man. You can call me 10 minutes before, and I'm here.
Right.
And that's foundated, man. 'cause-
That's earned, actually.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
earned. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Hey, you remember when y'all jumped that nigga and Puffy?
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say, you know, because AJ jawed somebody for me.
Yeah, we
Somebody
ain't
snuck
jumped
me.
that nigga. Yeah, we ain't jumped that nigga. I seen the nigga try to swing on my dog,
He
and like he was
saw it.
supposed to do, knocked that nigga out, stumped him out. You feel what I'm saying? You could
Yeah.
thank Kanye for that one, because that nigga was standing in line for some Yeezys.
Hey, that shit was
Everybody
We just
thought
couldn't
we was
believe that.
live,
We just
dog.
couldn't believe that shit happened. We
And
was like,
everybody
huh?
thought we was live. When I called his wife, I said, "Hey, you got to bring some more glasses." Like, she just did not want to believe.
I
it.
believed it as soon as you called me and told me,
Like,
because
what?
that's how it is.
Nah,
bro.
what the fuck? You know, and I'm like, yeah. No, it was funny because the guy was talking shit the whole time, right?
Yeah.
And it was just like to the point. I guess he just felt the opportunity and he snuck me. And as soon as he snuck me, AJ was right there. Boom.
On him.
And then by
In
that time,
town
we
style.
drug him into the middle of the store. We just started
Stumping
stomping
him
him.
out.
And dog, you know what it looked like?
Like, don't be a menace.
Yeah. No. With no, it looked like Poetic Justice when Tone
Yeah.
Loc and Tupac was
Oh,
stomping
yeah,
out
yes.
that guy.
Yeah,
That's what it
yeah.
was looking out to with that.
And that relationship was actually built just because I remember when I met Ty, he was coming in the store. I was working in the shoe store, and it was always something about him when he was coming in that like the owner would go talk to him like, oh, I got him. So I'm like, dog must be spending. Why you hating on my motherfucking
Commission.
commission? But over the years, we just got tight. But let's talk about growing up.
But I survived SJ because SJ got a lot of people fired.
I got a lot of people
SJ
fired.
got a lot of people fired.
Ty,
man.
you came here
I
2
just
weeks
wanna
later,
say
I
that.
was gone.
I just want to say, no, when I was
No.
there,
No, if I got
SJ
niggas
went
fired
through at least 8 people.
because they couldn't touch me. Like,
Yep,
let's be honest,
yep.
they
No,
couldn't
that was
fuck with
it.
me on
It
the
was all
sales.
about the hustle.
Yeah, like niggas just couldn't, and they thought I knew shoes because AJ knew shoes, and I just walked up in that bitch like I know Adidas and Chucks, but when
Yeah.
I walked up out of that bitch, I still just know Adidas and Chucks. But I can sell a nigga whatever you want to buy.
Yeah,
though.
he got 8 bodies under his belt.
Yeah, hey, keep
But
it low.
that's really because the nigga who was hiring just was terrible at hiring. The first day I got hired, he hired like a pregnant chick. It's like she ain't about to be climbing up these ladders and shit, man. That was like 10 years ago, man, and that's crazy because I'm done with this shit. By the time this episode come out, I'll be done with that shit.
So you really retired?
Yeah, I'll be retired. It's like bittersweet, man, because it's like, damn, like
we met a lot of people through that journey.
A lot of people, man, and it was dope. But shit, it's over, man. Everything come to an end. I'm not quitting. I know it's my time to stop and move on to something else.
Yes. That's a previous. That's an episode reference. But let's talk about growing up, because last time you was actually here, we was here with other people, and the conversation was based on designers and all that. That's like one of the first couple episodes. So if you want to go back and hear the first episode that Ty Mopkins was on, that's like one of the very first episodes. And you was actually one of the few people we told we was about to do the podcast.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But we want to get into how you became anti-national, you know what I'm saying? So take us back to growing up.
Because you from Roseline, right?
Yep, 12,000 block of Roseline on Detroit's west side. That's over there by Grand River, Oakman, Livernois area, Dexter Davis and all that area. Very YBI influence. And, you know, when I came up, man, it's like, you know, we all struggled. So it wasn't like somebody's family was a working class family, or, you know, everybody in that whole 4 or 5 block radius from Green Line, Rose Line, North Line, Clover Line, all that stuff. So we all came up from humble beginnings, man, and we didn't know we were struggling because, I mean, it's the same cliche you hear all the time because everybody was going through the same thing. Like, everybody's parents was getting focused over. Everybody's parents was getting food stamps. Everybody, at least every month, 2 or 3 people on the block, lights was getting cut off. Water was getting cut off.
You don't even know you poor because that's what's going on around it. You don't know you poor until you
meet a rich motherfucker.
Yeah, meet somebody. Yeah, because everybody go to school together. So this is niggas is sharing shirts and clothes with each other, and that's how you build. That be real family shit though. Like, because I tell people all the time, I never missed no meal. I wasn't poor like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we ate. It wasn't
right, but we never missed no
what
meal.
You wanted, but you ate,
And then you hear niggas talk about like, oh, I was starving. I'm like, damn, like it's always somebody worse and it's always somebody better. And I just tell people the highs ain't that high and the lows ain't that low. That's just how it works. So you don't got any siblings? You got any siblings?
Oh yeah. I got a younger sister. Her name Latoya, so she's 35. So it's about a 12, 13-year-old age gap within there. So I kind of like inherit her being like almost like my daughter, because at the time, you know, I was the only person there that was really doing something.
Yeah.
So I took her underneath my wing, you know, and just raised her. Like, people actually thought at one point that was my daughter because she was with me everywhere I went.
Yeah.
So, you know, and things like that. So after that, you know, I went to the great Detroit Southwestern High School.
Yeah.
Now, how did you end up at Southwestern?
Now, that's a funny story. So
see, I don't know if people know this, so this might be exclusive.
Well, not. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
This the world listening, though. This the world listening.
Well, okay. So I was going to Tappan Middle School. So we had this renowned marching band. So I was one of the drum captains in the marching band.
Yeah.
And Tappan feeder school was either Murray Wright or McKenzie.
Right.
So McKenzie was like 3 blocks away from where I grew up at. So I really wanted to go to McKenzie to be in a band because everybody that went to McKenzie either went to Southern, Alabama A&M, Jackson State,
it was the
or
incubator.
Tennessee State. That's what it was for like the black band. So I was like, you know, and then when I was in 8th grade, I had the guy from Southern University come here and was like, yeah, when you go to McKenzie, you know, we're going to get you tight. Just go there and learn from Mr. Bobby Brown, Dr. Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
And he's going to teach you everything. So you're going to get a full ride for Southern.
Right.
So then my mother and father was sitting down. They was like, well, he ain't really going to McKenzie because all of his friends going there. And I know once he go there, he going to be skipping because I barely made it through middle school.
Yeah.
And so they like, listen, we know what you're going to do. You're going to get with these kids. You're going to do this. You're going to do the same shit you was doing at Tappan. So let's just ice you out. We're going to send you somewhere that
you don't know nobody.
That I don't know nobody. So my mom's best friend at that time, it wasn't open enrollment. Yeah. You had to live in a district to go to school there. So one of my mom's best friends, she lived in Southwest Detroit. So we used her address and I ended up going to Southwestern. Yeah. So that right there was at least an hour and a half commute because I had to catch 2 buses. So here I am getting up 4:30 in the morning to try to catch a 6:45 Grand River to Livernois bus or Plymouth to Livernois bus and then walk about a half mile down to Southwestern. So,
you had to be pissed off when with the school you really want to go to is 3 blocks away.
Because they didn't pull this shit on me until like 3 weeks before school. So all summer long, I'm practicing with McKenzie's band. So I'm all that. But my mom, I didn't know my mom didn't register me there.
Yeah.
So I'm going there, the band director about to give me my uniform and all that. And they was like, well, okay, everybody bring your transcripts, bring everything, up to the school tomorrow so I can exchange all that and give you a band uniform. So I was like, hey, I need that paperwork. She was like, oh, no, you're going to Southwestern. I said, what?
Talk about a shocker.
I never knew, I heard of Southwestern because of their great basketball program.
Yeah.
But I never knew where Southwestern was at.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where the fuck is Southwestern at? So then my mom, we didn't have a car, so she had to teach me how to catch the bus.
So
to go
she
there.
actually took you on this the route you gonna take.
This the route you're gonna take. Yeah. She took me there. We went on a Sunday, and then back in those days, you just get the little printout schedules of what time the bus run, this and that. And my first day there, man, I got into it, man, because I didn't want to be there. And by this time, once a school is filled to capacity, there's nothing they can do. So. Yeah. McKenzie was already overcrowded anyway. Murray Wright was already overcrowded. And the next school other than that was Northwestern.
Yeah.
I really wasn't going to Northwestern because they didn't have anything there that incited me neither as far as band or whatever, football, whatever. So, my first 6 months at Southwestern, man, I probably got into 3 or 4 fights, fighting Mexicans because
but they thought you was Mexican.
They thought I was Mexican. So the thing was, when I got there, nobody knew what I was. Nobody knew what I was. They didn't know if I was Arabic, black, white, Hispanic, whatever. Yeah. They didn't know what I was.
That guy.
Yeah.
And it ain't like you can tell by your last name or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So that's why I found it weird that when I got my schedule, half of my classes was bilingual.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting up in there. I'm like, why the fuck do I got all these Spanish classes? Why do I got, and I'm sitting up there with all these, nothing against it. Now I'm sitting here with all these fucking Mexicans and the teacher speaking Spanish. And I'm like, wait, hold on.
And they think you get it.
They think I'm understanding. I'm like, okay, so where the translation to this shit at? It was like, you don't speak Spanish? No.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, where the fuck are y'all getting this shit from where I'm bilingual? So the whole 9th grade year was like a wash.
Yeah.
I barely got the credits because I really didn't want to go there.
Yeah. Right.
So then 10th grade year was when it got kind of interesting for me because that's when I met one of my best friends to this date, Jalen Rose.
So how did you meet Jalen?
Well, we was catching Illinois bus together. So he would already be on the bus because he'd catch the bus from 6 Mile, Illinois.
Yeah.
And I would catch it from Grand River, Illinois. And we'd just sit there, man. And to this day, he still shouts it out. He'd be like, hey, this is my brother. We used to catch Illinois bus school. And he used to always wear this dirty-ass Philadelphia 76er starter jacket.
Yeah.
And he used to always wear it. Back in those days, we didn't have Beats by Dre's. We had Walkmans.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when that first Walkman, that arm broke in that Walkman,
you
you would
was
black
sick.
tape that shit or rubber band that shit up.
Yeah.
So every day I would hear this motherfucker sing "I Shot the Sheriff" by EPMD because that was his favorite song. And then he just took off his headphones one day, just in true Jalen arrogance. He's like, yo, I'm going to the NBA one day, right? And I'm like, yeah, man, whatever. I'm just trying to get to fucking school and knock this shit out. So, after a while, we just started conversating more and more and more. And then back in those days, 9th and 10th grade people had classes together.
Yeah.
So we had fucking Spanish together. Again,
Back
so
to the Spanish shit.
back to that shit. And so we both didn't know what the fuck was going on. So we were just sitting in the back just talking. And me, every day I always read the newspaper front and back, whatever it was, especially a sports page. Yeah. So he would always be like, dog, make sure you bring a paper tomorrow so I can read the sports section. But he wasn't Jalen Rose like how he is
right.
after he graduated Southwestern. So he was just, cool kid, lanky kid and all that. And we just became cool and the best of friends and all that shit.
And I know that's real because I was somewhere and I seen Jalen Rose and people was talking to him. And when I shook his hand, I'm like, yo, Ty Mopkins like my brother. And he stopped and he was like, you a good person then. So people was like, what did you say to him? Like, it always be shit like that. Yeah, I'm not just like, you good, bro, that you, wherever we at, that's like my brother too. And I know that's your people.
But that's one thing I can say about him and a couple other guys, that played in the NBA that went to Southwestern, Howard Isley, Voshan Leonard, and even Jerome Bettis that went to McKenzie. We all grew up in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
Those guys never changed up.
Right. Yeah.
And so they always been real. When I was at one of the lowest points of my life, Jay Rose was one of the first person to be like, let me get you back on your feet.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, dog, I'm going to pay you back. He was like, man, get the fuck out of here.
Now, speaking about that neighborhood, another person that I know from that neighborhood, and this ended up being my motherfucking dog, is Rob. You feel what I'm saying? But you and Rob, y'all both fresh when it comes to getting the city on the map, because I know Rob, the first person who ever brought those Jeff Hamilton jackets to the city, and I know you the first person that brought Mitchell and Ness jackets to the city. So kind of talk about y'all growing up, because when did you discover you could dress? Because Rob would tell me he discovered he could dress in 9th grade. he had a locker partner who ended up being like a big nigga in the city. I tell y'all off the air.
Yeah.
And he said he used to tell him what to get because he had the money back then. And then he said one day he just quit going to school because Rob ended up going to Chassis because he could play baseball. So neither one of y'all went to Mackenzie and shit. But he said he knew he was fresh in the 9th grade when he was wearing the shit that the niggas who was selling dope could wear. He ain't never sold dope. Right. You feel what I'm saying? So when did y'all discover y'all knew that y'all knew clothing?
Well, in that neighborhood, like I said, the funny thing is like Rob grew up right across the alley from me. Yeah. So if people not familiar with Detroit, back in the day we used to have alleys. Yeah. And people used to play in the alleys. So we used to have like fucking milk crate basketball rooms that we built, or just certain shit that we did, whether it was shooting dice or whatever it was. We had fucking alleys that we used to hang out in. So, and we had dumpsters in there too. So whenever I would go take out the trash, I was always see Rob. We were taking out the trash at the same time. But we always, like I said, I've been knowing Rob since I was like 8 or 9 years old now. Right. You know what I'm saying? He always been the same talkative guy. With Rob,
it takes like 20 minutes to get him on the phone when he say just one more thing. That's my nigga though. Rob is my nigga. You feel what I'm saying?
If you talk to Rob, like if y'all did a podcast with Rob, y'all have enough shit to talk about for at least 2 years. Easy. Because he'll hold on, wait, don't stop the tape yet. Hold on. Let me say this. Yeah. So, like I said, over there on the lawn streets, when I mean lawn streets, Green Lawn, North Lawn, Clover Lawn, Rose Lawn, it was always like a fashion show because, like I said, we had a lot of them YBI motherfuckers that was in our neighborhood, and that was a sign of success for us seeing those guys dress, whether it was the cold-ass silk shirts to match the color Levi's, snakeskin belts, top 10 form, Concords, Decade, just anything you can imagine. When they wore it, those was like the first tastemakers and the first role models for us.
Right.
So it's like we used to always go up to this store called Juno's and Sonny's right there on Grand River Oakman, and they would have all the latest shit. So it'd be like a competition on the blocks because after a while, we stopped playing football and basketball and baseball.
And we started balling.
We started, for real. We started hustling. And people just started getting fresh and going out and all that stuff. So me and Rob would always like have this competition, and it always be like who was the freshest block. So of course Roseline always won because we was heavily influenced by, all of the YBI guys. So Rob went away for school, not to jail. He went away for school and did some other things and all that. And then we caught up with him one day, and he was working at this store called Strictly Sportswear. Yeah. And so that was on 7 Mile and Archdale. So that was one of the places where you always went, especially when you got on, because
that was like a symbol of success being able to shop there.
Yeah, because it was so funny because when I started working there too, it was like people would be just so happy just to come buy some socks to get that fucking topaz pink and green lime fucking Strictly Sportswear bag just to walk around the city with that bag. Yeah. So it was like guys would come in there just to buy a fucking pair of $5 socks.
Yeah. Get that bag. And
right. Because we had little small sock bags. Like, no, man, I want the big bag, get the big bag. So they could walk up and down 7 Mile with a bag to make it seem like, they really spent some money. But yeah, man, I think, I don't think I know that, Strictly Sportswear really set the fire for me. That's why I always got a soft spot in my heart for them. That's why every interview I do, regardless if it was here, the Breakfast Club, whatever it was, I always made sure I shouted out Strictly Sportswear. Right. Because that's where I got my that's where I got my start at with the late, great Dorothy Hamlin. Like, she was really before her time because she really cared about this city. And she didn't sugarcoat any shit. She told you how it was, right, and how it was gonna be.
Yeah. Nah, so you go from playing in a band. Yeah. Obviously, you got disappointed, didn't go where you wanted to go. Right. Then you hook up with the 12 Tech Mob. Yep. How did that come about?
Well, that was time when I thought I was gonna be a rapper. So that was me when I was working at Strictly Sportswear again. Strictly Sportswear had this little mini booth inside of this liquor store called the Omni, right there on 7 Mile by the Lodge, and they had like little pro shops in there that sold like hats, T-shirts, and all that stuff. So my man DJ Lynn Swine and Daddy Riff had this little mixtape booth right across from there, and I would always see them scratch live and all that stuff. By this time, I was writing little raps and all that. I thought I was gonna rap and all that shit. So, I just got cool with Lynn Swan, Daddy Riff, DJ Dez, Shotgun, all them guys, you know, and we just started hanging out, and then they was like, so you rap? And I was like, yeah, you see me over there writing and all that stuff. They was like, yeah, well, let's put some pen to pad. And Lynn Swan was the first person to take me to his little studio, which was his basement. Yeah. And it was always cold in there, so it's like cold, so we was call it like Swan's nickname growing up was Beaver.
Yeah.
So he would always call it Beaver's Freezer.
Yeah.
So we would be in there just recording all that, and then Riff would come in and do like the little cuts. Like Riff had a real soulful soul.
Yeah.
Because his dad used to sing in groups back in the day too. So Riff had these soul music anywhere from the Enchantments, the Dramatics, anybody you can imagine. Like he would always sample these soul beats that would just bring it out of you, like old 60s and 70s heroin type listen to music type shit.
Right.
So Riff was that type of producer. Swan was just a straight West Coast producer. You know, he used to do shit with Poncho and B-Def.
Yeah.
You know, Swan was more of the hardcore.
Yeah, the early hip hop. This is what, yeah.
So if I had to label them, like Swan was West Coast, Riff was East Coast, and Dez was just on his own little planet. Like man, that's somebody y'all need to talk to too. Y'all need to get DJ Dez up here.
Put it together.
That guy, no, I got you. Like that guy is a musical genius just from his Cuban heritage. He played congos, bongos, anything, and then still went on to becoming one of the founding members of hold on. You can cut me in and out. Okay.
Yeah.
Slum Village.
Yeah, but it ain't okay.
No, I know this.
It's gonna roll like that. Don't say that they won't play it back.
Yeah.
No, because I was about to say Five Elements. And so Five Elements was Proof Group with JD and all them.
Yeah.
So what it was that. So he became one of the founding members of Slum Village, came to DJ, and you know, like fucking Dez resume is impeccable all around the world.
Yeah. So when you was rapping and shit, what was your rap name? I know, but
Well, I mean, you know, like when I used to rap on Roseline, they used to call me like Rapping Roni. But then one guy was like, man, fuck that, man. Dog, you like a big ass schoolyard bully, man. You gotta bully that shit. They was like, that's it. That's your new name. Your name gonna be Schoolyard Bully.
yeah.
And I was like, man, no. Then I started calling myself Schoolyard Bully.
Yeah.
And then went over to Swan House, went over to Beaver's Freezer and recorded 12,000 Block of Roseline.
Yeah.
So Rapping Rody.
Rapping Roni.
Yeah,
Because my nickname was Big Ron. Big Roni.
So when you decided that rap wasn't gonna work for you, what did you get into? Like, cause you come from the elements, you lived like all the lives that somebody from Detroit would live, and what I mean by that is you did the school thing,
right?
You did the rap thing,
right?
You from around that way, so you obviously did the street thing.
Right.
But when you was doing that, did you always have a vision of something that you wanted to do besides the streets? Like when did you realize that you wanted to open your own store?
Basically, when I went and joined over there at Strictly Sportswear, because the way I got on at Strictly Sportswear was at the time my first marriage. My wife, which is my oldest son's mother, TJ, her sister was dating and engaged to the son of Strictly Sportswear.
Oh, okay.
And so he would always see me how I dress and all that stuff because I never thought I was going to work in the clothing store. I never thought that because, you know, I'm going to hustle until I do something. I don't know what it is.
Right.
Because now we're talking about 92, 93.
Right, this is when real, like, this is your era of the real money. So you like,
right.
How the fuck I'm gonna do something else?
And when I'm fucking bringing in $10,000 a day or this and that, and just, you know, I'm like, you know, I'm not even thinking about rapping no more with that because people thought if you think Detroit rap politics is heavy now.
Oh, back then.
Back in those days, it was like if you wasn't a part of this little click crew, like 4 people deep, and they wouldn't even get no radio play. It was like, man, I'm out. Let me just, you know. And I became better friends with people from the radio station once I stopped rapping than when I was rapping.
Right.
Because I had to look at it from their point of view, like, man.
Now you don't need a favor.
Now I don't need a favor.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that's how you worked at Strictly because that's how I started working when I started working at Puffery's. I was going to buy a coat, and my wife, first cousin, was the manager, and she just was like, hey, would you work in Wayne? And I was like, I'm from the town. Hell yeah. She was like, all right, I'm going to fax your application. She forgot to fax that shit. This nigga seen on like one of them job sites, like, man, they said they was hiring at that store. I just went up there and Brett hired me. Like, shout out to Brett. He hired me. I'm the best hire Brett ever had. And this is why I say that, right?
I believe that
because I brung you. You feel what I'm saying? Eric hired you, so Britt didn't even hire you.
Right.
I'm the best hire Britt ever had, and I lasted the longest.
And I'm the fucking reigning MVP of
Man,
Just
would you
Shoes.
let that shit go?
He got the title.
Come
He
on,
got
bro.
Listen, bro.
Dog. I said of Just Shoes.
Okay,
I said
okay,
Just
okay,
Shoes.
okay,
that
okay.
one day nobody has ever done more than I did, bro. And then I
got
come
it,
in
yeah.
and Ty got me fired, man.
No, you
Man.
know what though? In real life, in retrospect, what really happened though with that, I think, is because I was like really coming in a power down there,
And they knew that they couldn't move me up, yeah.
And then they was like, if you running it down there and I'm running it down there, essentially we run the company.
Right.
And he just wasn't gonna have that because the type of nigga he is. That's not a good or bad thing. You feel what
No,
I'm saying?
I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. But it was just my time to go because after that, I did my thing, and I'm
Man,
still doing my
He
thing.
came in what he's supposed to do. He got people fired. He came 8 bot, man. People
Hey,
was
nigga, it's not
dropping.
my fault that I'm like batting 1,000 and other niggas strike it out,
I'm
man.
Just looking, they was like, yeah, we fired old boy. No, old boy quit. Old
The
boy
numbers,
tapped
man.
out. And I'm like,
hey, but you know what? I still talk to Ryan, who used to work there, the young
Yep.
cat. He writing books. He trying to get into an apprenticeship program with some books. I'ma have him on. Like I met a lot of good people working there because anytime I work with somebody and anybody who ever worked with me who I actually talk to can attest to this.
Right.
When I meet you, I say, hey man, what else you do? How can I help you? That's how I introduce myself. How can I help you? How can we work together? And people don't really know that. Like they be like, I don't want nothing from you. If I could take you to the next level, and since we talking about next level shit, let's talk about them top 10s, that 40-year anniversary and what that meant to you.
right. So, but before we touch that, I want to go back a little bit about how did I know that I wanted to get into the clothing business and all that stuff. So, I always go to Strictly Sportswear because they had a little shop right there on Grand River in Southfield. So they would be the first in the city getting all the fly shit like the Diodora, Sergio Tacchini, Van Grack, and all that stuff. So I would always shop in there, and it just so happens that, like I said before, my son's mother and her sister was dating the son of Strictly Sportswear. So he would see me, and his name is Kalvon Hamlin. So he would see me like, man, you be dressing fresh, man. How you put all that together, man? And we got this store, and I don't even be thinking about it. I'm like, what's store? What, Strictly? He was like, yeah. He was like, man, you need to come up there and just work, man. Just be around that shit. And I'm like, man, how much y'all paying? And then when they tell me how much they was paying, then what I was getting, I was like, man, you crazy. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. But then people around me started going to jail, started dying, and then when the heavy phase of really people started snitching on people came about, like in the mid 90s, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go on and get this clothing thing a try. Let me just see. So he taught me everything I knew to get started in the beginning, like how to talk to a customer and how to do things like that. Actually, all I did was took what I learned from the street and just put it into retail because dope shit is dope shit, whether it's clothes or dope.
Yeah, like my niggas say, ain't no pretty ass clothes go sit, and ain't no pretty hoe I can't hit. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Who say that?
My nigga Rob, because he said if the clothes pretty, you can wear them and you can hit the pretty hoes. But that's why we fuck with each other though, because he said the first day he heard me talk, he like, you got such a street element that the customer has to fuck with you.
Exactly.
He said they not even gonna feel right fucking with a nigga who trying to explain what the shoe do when they hear you talk. And he like, nigga, you look like you should work at Strictly's. Right. But I'm like, I'm from the town. They don't pay enough. Because they wasn't getting commission, and I ain't know that. Right. You feel what I'm saying? They was getting perks though.
Yo, yeah, we got it was a lot of perks.
I can imagine working in there though. So we go from Strictly's, and then you went to another company that had a store in the mall. And
in between there, at the Strictly, like when I did, I put in like, I say did like I went to jail, but no, I was there for about 4 years. Yeah. By this time, I'm going to all the shows, and now I'm a buyer.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to all these shows. I'm making all these connections. I become friends with Carl Kanai, Maurice Malone, like everybody you can imagine in that era, Damon John, Fubu, and all that stuff, because they was just getting started. Yeah. And the way they would get into their stores is they would have to hunt you down. So I'd be at Magic, and it ain't enough for Carl Kanai to come run. Actually, the first time I met Carl Kanai was in New York at a show called the Javits Center. Yeah. So he would run me down. Oh, you from Detroit, man? Oh, man, I got to get my stuff in there, talking fast like how he always talk fast and things like that. So once I built up my resume of being like one of the top buyers, for years, and this is something that Rob can attest to too, it's like we used to beg them like, yo, open up more stores. Like, listen, we need to go to Fairlane. We need to do this. We need to do that.
Yeah, that's his biggest. Yeah. That's actually his biggest gripe, and that's well known. Like, listen, like we bubbling. Yeah. We need to expand.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like not just Highland Park because it was one at Highland Park, but he like go to Fairlane, go out here, because some of these people just don't want to come to the city, but they want to shop with you.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
And this is no disrespect. Even if it's disrespect, I don't care. I mean, I'm just being real. It's like our fuck up at Strictly. If it wasn't for us fucking up, not opening up locations, our Sam never would exist.
That's true.
Four Men never really would exist like how they did. They had Man Oh Man, but they bankrupt and folded so many times that they went to Fairlane. The spot we wanted at Fairlane, 4 Men opened it up there.
Yeah,
so
because Rob met, he said him and Mama, that's what they call her, met
Miss
at Fairlane and shit. And he said he just didn't understand. Like,
I mean, but some people, it's just like a nigga with the sack. He like, bro, I'm doing this right here. Why do I gotta? I'm comfortable here. I know this is my life. I know what I know every week. I know I see why people don't expand, but it's just not somebody. Their whole vision was probably just to open a store in this neighborhood.
Well, that's true as well too. But Mama really wanted to do it, and like I said, I'm not talking about nobody. It is what it is. But some people was just so content on having with the words "my shit." This me.
Right.
This my shit. So it's like, you know what? You're right. Yeah. This is your shit.
Right, and you do make the decisions.
Right. And and it's to the point where I've gone as high as I can go here.
Yeah.
I'm not family, so I'm not going to inherit anything.
Right.
So I said, you know what? I went and talked to Mama, and God bless her soul. She was like, baby, I can't hold you back no more because you're really wasting your time here. Go do what you got to do. And if it don't work out, you know, you can always come back.
And that's real.
And that's the realest shit she ever told me. She said, if you need anything, she said, do you really got everything you need?
Right.
Because if you don't, let me know. And this come from her mouth.
Yeah.
Now, other people didn't accept it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, well, at the time they was like, oh, well, no, he the enemy now. And I'm like, well, okay, if you feel that way, then let's go.
Right, yeah. Like,
so I started with my friends that was doing radio. So it's like I aligned myself with people that was already in different types of entertainment. Yeah. So I knew that at that time we didn't have social media. Word of mouth was flyers or radio.
Yeah.
So I teamed up with my man who was doing radio, and he was selling advertising through the radio. So he would know when it was time to buy the right ads and this and that and get them for cheap and get things going and all that stuff, or when the hottest parties was coming out, so we can tag on to do that. And that's when I created Hip Hop University.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and then
now where was that located at?
Well, the first one was in Pontiac because he came with this idea. Man, it's too much going on in Detroit, man. I don't want to. Let's not be in competition in there. Let's open up somewhere where nobody really knows what the fuck is going on.
So some unmarked territory.
Exactly. And it was the reason why it was unmarked and nobody wanted to go there. So, you know, so at the time, you know, we still was doing our little thing. So I still was working, but I still was doing other shit. So I had money saved up and stacked and all that. So it was like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. So we got this spot in Pontiac, right there on Huron Street, right down from back in the day, it used to be called Clutch Cargoes. I don't know if people are familiar with that.
Yeah.
Man, I don't think we had a customer. I don't even think we still had a customer to this day. Fucking, that was the worst shit we ever could have done, man. We lost so much money in there because we was buying inventory.
Yeah. So
this was like 99. So I remember spring of 2000. We was like, dog, we got to go. We fucking up people's credit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we had investors doing other shit too. So it was like, you know, we got to get the fuck on. We got to go back home.
Yeah.
So then we knew this one guy. His dad had a lot of fucking strip malls in the city of Detroit. His name is Rodney Carson. So his dad, and it was black owned. So I was like, perfect. This is how it is. This is how we gonna run. This is how we gonna do this shit.
Yeah.
And he said, man, I got one from where you grew up at, right there on Illinois in Oakman.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. I was like, okay, if this what it gotta be, it gotta be.
Yeah.
So then we started getting, you know, all the hot shit, the Mitchell & Ness account. Back in those days, it was Rockaware, Fat Farm, and Nietzsche, all the streetwear shit. So we opened up there, did a big-ass radio thing. The first thing we did there was, this was back in the day when Bow Wow was, like, untouchable.
Yeah.
So he did a concert here. So we finagled a way to get Bow Wow to come do an in-store to promote the concert.
Right.
In that parking lot right there. So him, Lil Romeo was opening up for him. So we had Bow Wow and Lil Romeo there, Lisa Ray. So we had all this shit going on.
In that
parking lot. That was the best, worst thing that ever happened to us because it brought the raw type of attention. Man, they broke down doors, news out there. back in those days when the news come to your shit and talk about you, it's over. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
It ain't like now where you can defend yourself and be like, no, this ain't how it happened. Once the news go, I can't get on social media to defend myself. It was the news story, and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I ain't going up there. Fuck that. It's dangerous up there. So now we banging again, and then now we getting broken into. So
the insurance going crazy.
The worst thing as a business owner, I don't give a fuck what you got. I don't give a fuck if you got a shop selling rubber bands.
Yeah.
Whatever. When that fucking phone ring at 3:30 in the morning,
you know what it is.
You know what it's about. And so we used to just be paranoid as hell. Then the cop even told us, was like, the most break-ins happen between 3:30 to 5:30 because that's when we're doing the shift change, not a lot of cars. I'm like, why the fuck are y'all giving out this fucking information? So now it's just like, if a motherfucker know,
like you just told me, now
right,
I know.
Right. So how about if I wanted to go break and shit, I know 3:30 to 5:30, y'all off the fucking grid. It's one car for a whole zip code or whatever it was, how they patrol. So, man, with Hip Hop University, man, I'll be honest with you, we really didn't make we made no money there. We was fucking just catching up. The name was worth more than what we actually brought in because, like I said before, either you do radio or you did street team. And so we had a real great guy, man. Y'all know Rock.
Yeah.
He was a renegade in these fucking streets with the fucking street team thing.
He put the street team. Hey,
he is a founding member. Yeah,
he get you popping.
So Rock is the original member of Hand to Hand.
Yeah.
So Rock could be at all the parties, all the events, all the malls, just making sure he got your shit out. So, like I said, our name was worth more than we actually ever fucking brought in at Hip Hop University.
The funny thing about Hip Hop University, right? So it's like 2000 because we just fresh into college, and I meet this young lady, Cole. She was Cole, boy, and she used to. You know who I'm talking about.
No, I know.
If listen to the story. She used to work for Hip Hop University, and she used to always tell me that they opening up a store on the west side, blah, blah, blah. Light-skinned young lady, man. I don't want to say her name on the air.
Do it begin with this?
Yeah.
It begins with the letter...
Yeah. E.
Where you at?
Yeah, I met her at college, and she was on some... earthy poetry type of shit, you know what I'm saying? And she kept telling me I got to introduce you to the guy who ran it. This is 2000, you know what I'm saying? And then one day she just disappeared, but the store had opened up, and
she pulled a fucking Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, she just disappeared one day.
Exactly.
But before that, then I used to hear the name so much, and then when I met you, and you was like, I used to run Hip Hop University. I'm like, such and such put me up on that.
Now I remember, okay.
Right, and then think about this, right? And then when we first met and we got to talking, and you got to talking about the 12 Tech Mob, and I'm like, hold on, listen to this. Lynn Swan did this for us. So we was bumping into a lot of the same people. Yeah. And we knew you just never was a hater, even though you got me fired. But man, I ain't taking it personal. No, listen.
With the person you was talking about, she came with me it was kind of like, I'm not going to say how the movie How High was.
Yeah.
When he was like, fuck you, you cool. Who's leaving with me?
Yeah.
So when I left Strictly, she left Strictly with me.
Because that's what she told me. She was like, we used to work at the other place together.
Yeah.
She was like, you got to meet her. Because at this time, we was rapping, and I was talking to her about music and all that.
Man, she was so deep, man. She was before her time as well.
She was on some Baiduisms, she was telling me about shea butter and all of that shit. And this is 2000.
I mean, she
a
was
beautiful young lady, just a
dope.
whole beautiful spirit. I always wonder what happened to her because one day she just stopped coming to school and just disappeared, bro. But I never thought nothing bad happened to her though.
No.
I just knew I wouldn't be surprised if she in Africa helping kids and shit straight up, bro.
That would seem like it, because I see her sister on Instagram. So every so often she posts a picture of her. So I know nothing happened to her.
Right.
It's just that some people just when you get right within, you just fall off the grid. And you're happy with that shit.
Yeah, because that other shit don't make you you know what I'm saying? Don't make you happy.
So you go from Hip Hop University, then you go to another store. But let's talk about how you actually built up the company you working for now. Okay. Because they were known for one thing, and then now they're known because Ty Mopkins worked there.
Right.
So let's talk about how that even came into play. When did you know that you was about to transition to that company?
Well, just all of us got something in common where we was at.
Yeah.
And we know that, and once again, that's the luxury of owning something.
Yeah. Right.
You can do whatever the fuck you want to do when you want to do it. You can move how you want to move. But when you got people underneath you that you need to branch out and blossom them and explore them, if you don't do it, you got to find ways of doing it yourself.
Yeah.
So during that time, I think AJ, you had already left.
Yeah, I left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I left. I went to Villa.
So Dre, so AJ was Cube, so he left first.
I went to Villa, but they wanted that nigga, but they wanted him to move to Philly. You feel what I'm saying? And he told him no. Because, it's my nigga. So I'm like, shit, I'm about to go over here, do my thing.
Right.
I'm about to talk you up. But you know the proof is in the pudding. But I'm letting them know that shit y'all see, that's my man.
Right.
And they just wanted him to move to Philly, and it wasn't happening.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that.
Turned that shit down. But you got to, because we preserving what we know.
Right.
They don't even fucking wear top 10s. They wouldn't even get it. You feel what I'm saying?
So when Cube left,
I saw it covered. That's why I went solo.
Me and Yella, which is great. We still was over there. So, and I got this phone call from a guy who was a sales rep, big name sales rep in the industry. He works for I won't say what company. I say it's a hat company that everybody wears. And he said, "Hey man, it's been a lot of talk about you in the industry. I heard you turned down, the Philadelphia thing, but if you want to stay local, I got a place that can benefit you, that needs you, and you need them because they give you the growth and the access that you need to grow too."
Right.
And I'm like, "Okay, where?" And he was like, "Mr. Allen's." I started laughing. I said, "What?" I was like, 29 or 2 for 50?
Exactly. That's what they was known for.
But once I got in there and I started looking at books and numbers of what the fuck they used to do with 29 or 2 for 50,
it was actually genius. Like, it was
I will
perfect.
go back to that shit right now to saw the money that they make. So, that 29 2 50, he didn't have to deal with all the bullshit that we deal with now in this industry.
Right.
So I was like, man, let me think about it. He said, well, I'm going to give the owner's son your number, which is Jacob Bishop. So at that time, he took over. The dad retired. He said, listen, man, I didn't have my run.
I'm 29 and 2 for 50. Y'all need another legacy.
Right. That 29 250 got me a fucking 10-bedroom mansion in Miami with a yacht right in the backyard. And he said, I'm there.
Right.
You need me, I'm there. So, the owner's son, Jacob Bishop, started talking to me, started texting me. Hey, man, I really look at you as LeBron James of this industry. And this is 5 years ago.
Yeah.
He said, man, I need you on the team because I feel like you can help me tell the vision that I'm trying to tell because I'm trying to escape the 29 2 for 50 thing.
The stigma, yeah.
So, actually, man, we talked for almost a year.
Because they take so fucking long, man. And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
I used to work at Mr. Allen's and shit because my nigga brought me over there because I was the illest nigga in the city and shit. And to be real, man,
Eric had a fucking squad.
Man,
and
I just worried
some people came through that door
Yep.
at Puffer Reds that if he would have blossomed and let them grow, that Puffer Reds, we wouldn't even be discussing nobody going nowhere else.
Well, you know what, though? That's the second time it happened to me.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You saw it coming though.
You knew what it was.
Yeah.
But like when you think about who walked through that door, like Rell, he went on to do his store thing. Like everybody who left them and wanted to
who still wanted
to do that just blew up. So
Right.
you get to Mr. Allen's, bro, and shit just changed drastically. And what I mean by that is just you forget that they were once $29.99.
You definitely have to be in a certain age range
to even know.
In the beginning, first 6 months, that shit was tough. I was like, I quit 3 times. So at first, I was like, I done fucked up.
Yeah. What was the old girl name? Her son used to do the commercials.
I'll tell you her name. I know exactly who her name. Yeah.
So when I first got there, once again, the old regime was at Mr. Allen's, the 29 250. So they didn't understand me. They didn't understand what I did. So Jacob will always be like, listen, dog, do what you got to do. Do whatever you need to do. Just don't get me sued. I don't give a fuck what you do. Buy whatever you got to buy. Create what you got to create. Do what you got to do. Just don't get me sued.
Right.
And so at that time, I had free reign to do whatever the fuck I want. People couldn't understand it.
No, they
come
couldn't.
and go as I came and pleased. It probably brought a lot of. I knew it brought a lot of animosity.
Because when I got there, like they ain't know this
You
was
was
my
his
man.
guy?
No, I'm saying the niggas who didn't know that I was his man.
Yeah.
I just let them talk. Be like, yeah, you know that's my man, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, it wasn't like no. It's exactly like that.
It's
We
exactly
don't play
how you
that.
said it, right.
You feel
We
what
don't
I'm
play
saying?
that
We
shit.
just beat a nigga ass.
Right.
Last time we was together, we was stuffing the nigga
Last time
out.
shit happened, we was 8 months off of this shit. So
Yeah. So, but like that brung like a lot of hate because the thing about that company is even if you got 5 years in, you're still the new guy.
Right.
That's just what it is. It's a nigga who 31 who been there 16 years.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? So even if you got 5 months in and they just don't 5 years in, and they don't understand how it work when niggas come in to make what you do better. You feel what I'm saying?
They think you coming to take the spot while I'm actually coming to grow.
Because like the district manager, he a hating ass nigga because I could do my job better than him. But since he been there 18 years, it's like, they go roll with that nigga. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, no, man, like we here to make this shit flow smoother. I seen this like just like how he seen that before. Nigga, I seen this rodeo before. When I started at Villa, nigga, it was a store plan for 150 stores. It was only 37 stores. You feel what I'm saying? So I seen that shit go from 37 to 150 and still maintain the #1 store in the company. I know what I'm doing. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Y'all niggas, you are good at that shit though.
No, that's what I'm saying. Y'all niggas only
you actually helped me become
store.
a better team leader in my job because I'm like, you like, bro, but are you really a good team leader or are you just feeling yourself?
Right.
And I'm like, are you a really good supervisor? And he like, look at the niggas that I grew in this. Like, I hired him, I did this. And that actually made me go reevaluate what I was doing at work, and I became a better team leader. And they still like, oh, they don't understand. Like, that's a conversation that me and my brother had. Like, are you really good as you say you are? And everybody ain't gonna say that to you. So I appreciate you turning me into a better team leader, man. And my nigga, you know what I'm saying?
I got to though, because some motherfuckers just like the title, and other motherfuckers work for that shit.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. But when I look back and it's like, dog, I've been doing this shit, and
that's what I was saying to you yesterday, that we put in the work regardless. Like that when we was talking about, because we was talking about like a motherfucker booked some time with us, want to come on the show and then cancel, but we still put in that work for the research. We still put in that work, and I told him, bro, it's still us putting in the work. It ain't we never not go put in the work, and you put in some major work because we could talk about Starter. We could
actually talk. You know, when I was like my nigga doing this thing, you had release dates for New Era hats, and me and Rob would be on the phone like, bro, can you believe this?
This is
like this nigga Ty got motherfuckers line. Like, we can believe it, but can they believe that this nigga got motherfuckers in line for a fucking hat because they want the box? Fuck the hat, they want the box, my nigga.
Yeah. Or you open your starter jacket today, your starter jacket got my nigga name in it, and that's DJ Khaled. You know what I'm saying? That's all these celebrities in.
But that's motherfuckers grassroots in the city, because before it touched any of them, that shit got to make a difference where we from. And that's why we had the word heritage, and we was trying to explain to a nigga before, like, the heritage is bigger than the culture. Because when we look back on this shit in 50 years and shit, and we talking, and the nigga walk past like, nigga, my grandma used to take me to the store because she wanted your jacket. I done sold these shits to old ass women, nigga, to kids who could wear a girl small. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, like, motherfuckers hit, man, fuck them Jordans. When them shits was coming out, niggas will offer you they girl, my nigga. But they just want 2 jackets. Right. I'll take her. Come on.
But you know, when I know that, like, it was bigger than life, top 10, 40-year anniversary, Motown Museum.
Talk about that.
Talk about that.
Well, that came about 5 years prior, when we did the 35th anniversary thing, when we still was all as Puffer Red.
Yeah. No, I was gone by the end though.
You was gone?
Yeah, but we was at the thing. We was gone. I was gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that they seen what I did there, because with the 35th anniversary, they was like, man, we got to make an impact in Detroit, and and once again, the people we was with didn't think outside the box.
Yeah.
So I was like, listen, there's no way, and this is not even talking about Ipsy or nothing like that. It is what it is. When you think of top 10, you think Detroit.
They go hand in hand.
It just is what it is. And if it's not Detroit, it's Flint.
Boston.
Well, no, it's Flint too.
Yeah.
Because my man Breed shouted out top 10s in his song, In the Future Your Fortune.
Yeah.
He was like, wear top 10s on my ass, use jeans.
Yeah.
So it was a Detroit Flint thing, and it became popular in Boston when all them YBI guys started going to Boston.
Hustling,
when my man Pep and all them was going out there hustling in the projects and things like that. And that's something that's a beef that me and Michael Bivens from New Edition go through every day.
But Benzino will attest to that. That's how he got there.
Yeah,
I think I heard him
he
say
said
that.
it. He said it.
Because he fuck with them city niggas hard. Yeah.
So I was like, listen, other than top 10s, Detroit is known for another thing too, which is Coney Islands.
Yeah.
I was like, so why don't we just take over one of the biggest Coney Islands in the city of Detroit, downtown Detroit, right there at American Coney Island. I got some riffle and some pullback from where we was at, because they wanted to be in store. Yeah. And I'm like, you can't tell the real story. This ain't what it is. So I was like, well, no, man, I don't even want to do it then. If we can't do it the way I want to do it, I don't want to touch it. Adidas was like, no, we're going to do it that way, with or without him.
Yeah.
They said that. So we ended up doing it, and it became, man, that was the first time that, regardless on how whoever think they did whatever for Detroit, as far as like sneaker community and all things like that, that was the first time that we got written up in sneaker news, kicks on fires, all that shit came here because they was like, "What the fuck
is going on?
Yeah, what the fuck is a Coney Island?"
Yeah, gave the boxes out. I just looked at my box the other day.
I still got my T-shirt.
Yeah, I never wore my shit.
Yeah, I wore mine. I wear my shit. I be at work with my shit. I was like, "Oh, my nigga put this together." I didn't even realize that was 5 years ago.
I got to do this one time. Yeah. Okay. So that led up to last year. The conversation started coming back again. And was like, yo, the 40th anniversary coming on. What you want to do for that? And I was like, give me a second. Let me think. So I said, the way we got to do this shit is we got to tell the real story. We got to come up with some creative shit, some shit that's going to fuck people up again. Because at the end of the day, 5 years later, we're going against fucking shoe resellers,
everything,
going up against fucking StockX,
right,
going up against all these companies. Now. It's a different battle. So now it's really the cool kids, the fucking shoes with zippers on it, fucking Nike logos going different ways, the fucking Off-Whites, the fucking Fear of Gods and things like that. That's running the show now. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So what can I do something to make the top 10 go well? And to this day, I truly believe the success of the top 10 40th anniversary piggybacked off of what I did with Starter. Because what I did was I created a buzz with the Starter shit, whether it was Grant Hill wearing it with the shoes with Fila, whether Fabulous was wearing it next to the Beverly Hills cop sign in Beverly Hills, DJ Khaled wearing it on his albums, or just whoever it was. My name had bubbled from that, so it just trickled on to the top 10. So I said, okay, well, we're going to tell the story the right way.
Yeah.
We gonna talk YBI because at first they didn't want me to mention what it was. I was like, well, that's bullshit because
y'all know.
Exactly. Y'all know, so don't be scared to tell who your consumer is or who it was. And that's when it was like, well, the culture. And that's when I told them, no, fuck culture. I'm talking about heritage.
Right.
It's a difference. These kids got culture. We come from heritage. So they was like, well, okay, well, we're gonna send we're gonna send a marketing company in just to talk to you and just jot down ideas on how you want to create this shit. I said, okay, cool. And so I said, well, if we're going to talk about this, it just so happens that this year, too, was the 60th anniversary of Motown.
Yeah. Right.
And so I said, well, you know what? Let's do this event. We're going to call it Soul Meets Soul, where the Soul, S-O-L-E, the Soul, the top 10, meets the S-O-L of Detroit, which is Motown. And I said, okay, so what we're going to do is if it's a 40th anniversary, we're just going to do 40 pairs of this limited-ass, dope-ass top 10, boxing and everything. Yeah. So I said, but what I want on the box is I want all of the street signs from the city of Detroit where the top 10 resonated at, whether it was from YBI, whether it was from whoever it was, Dexter Davidson, Grand River, Fort Street, everywhere. I said, so what we got to do is this. We got to create a box, and on the inside of the box, I want it to look like the inside of the campaign hat that YBI used to always wear. And I want the band to wrap around the top 10s to look like the band that went around the 40th, went around the campaign hat. And so these guys, man, they did a great job.
Well, did they get it at first, though?
Yeah, because they was bland.
All right.
Okay, cool. They didn't even have an opinion.
They didn't have no opinion because they didn't know. They came in and said, listen, whatever you tell us to do, we're going to do it, and we're going to put our twist on it, and you tell us if it's cool or not. Because that was perfect exactly,
for you, though.
Because they was from New York.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a marketing company that they brought in from New York, and they was like, we're going to come in, we're going to do film work, we're going to do documentaries, and they were like, this is your show, tell the story. So I reached out to my man, Mac Nichols.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to do was I wanted to bring the new face of Detroit, which is like my man Stewie.
Yeah.
Regardless of what that place is, New Detroit, he's the face of it.
Right.
And then I wanted to bring a female point of view to it, and it had to be LaBrittany.
Right.
Which y'all know too. Y'all know LaBrittany well.
Yeah, she from the turf. Well, we from the time, but Angster Romulus, that's all to say.
Yeah, so I wanted her to be the face of it too for a woman's point of view. And then I wanted to step back. I just wanted to narrate the story.
Right.
Of course, I could have did the whole thing, but I didn't want to be that because it was a time for me to showcase people.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's when I pulled my man Mac Nichols in because his dad is one of the founding members of YBI.
Yeah.
Right.
So that gave it that authenticity right there.
Yeah.
So we did like little 5-minute clips talking about the top 10, talking about what it means. And that shit just went viral and it just took off. I had people like Bun B reached out to me. I sent Bun B a pair. I sent my man DJ Clark Kent a pair. Yeah. They was like, yo, we just need a piece of that
you
shit.
gave us a pair, nigga. I got the box. I came to the crib.
I ain't got to y'all yet. I'm about to get to y'all. What, nigga? Of course, I had to give my man who talked the most shit to me, Michael Bivens. He got a pair. Yeah. And of course, I had to give y'all a pair regardless. Fuck that. I had to make sure y'all had the pair before anybody had the pair too, because fuck all this industry shit. I make sure my family type before anything else.
Right. And what's so crazy, like, the nigga ain't tell me like the box was bamboo or whatever.
Right.
So I'm talking to my wife. I'm like, look, this nigga about to, it's a box coming and shit. She like, all right. She say she went to get the shit. The shit was so heavy. The nigga at the UPS nigga was like, you want me to put that in there? She like, no, I got it because you can't come in my house, my G. But I got to the crib and shit. I bust that shit open. I'm like, man, nigga, this shit fresh as hell.
Right. That nigga called me. I'm like, he was like, dog, I ain't even sending you a picture. You got to come get your shit. Right. I get my shit. I'm like, I'm thinking it's a box inside of a box. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this shit is crazy. That was dope,
and only
man.
40 people got that.
Yeah,
and they was like, why did you make it so heavy? And the one guy caught on to it. He said, man, I picked that shit up, man. That shit was heavy as bricks.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
That's what it was about.
Because
we used to put bricks. Well, not we. No.
I don't know nothing about it.
Okay, so, you know.
Bricks used to get put in boxes.
Shoe boxes.
Yeah, bricks, money, all that shit. But that shit was like, non motherfuckers really get it, like, when it comes to this shit, because like it's two cities in America, like, I feel like dictate this shit, and it's Harlem and it's Detroit.
Yep.
And I feel like we got something, they got motherfuckers, but we got motherfuckers too. And it's like we really put these companies on our back. Yep. You gotta think, man, and this is real shit, right? Those Mitchell & Ness jackets wouldn't have survived if they didn't come through Detroit. Yep. That Jeff Hamilton, it wouldn't have survived. Nope. This nigga didn't have nowhere to send it.
Listen though, was built on the city.
Yeah, Rob didn't even have no place to send it. He said this nigga was just writing invoices, and cause he moved the first ones, sending it. And this how I know it's true, because when I heard Jeff Hamilton talk, he said I used to just send some people jackets with no store. And then when I talked to Rob, he like, nigga, that's how he used to do me. This shit wouldn't have survived. These companies, like, you gotta imagine, like, it's 20 million people in New York. Some shit always pop, but when you come to a city, it's the blackest city in America. We used to have 1,760,000 now, but this where the shit pop, and then niggas come and take it and go.
You know what, bro? You deserve a biopic, and I got the perfect title.
What?
From Rose Line with Hustle. I'm SJ.
I'm AJ.
I want for my brother
what I want for myself.